So the keyboard assembly just kind of lifts out like this, and then you pull it out. So as you can see, I've taken the assembly out of the case. I've put the case on the floor over here. The keyboard used to be facing that way. We were working along this edge, taking out all the screws and circuit boards and whatever, and the keyboard was upside down, laying that way. Now you can see that I've flipped the keyboard right side up, and I want to show you what's actually going on when it's a loud noise. So this is middle C, and you can see how deep that is. So when you push it, the weight is actually pushing down. Some of the rattling of the key, I don't think that's what we're going to solve today. I'm going to try maybe with some another way. Here's a new felt that's going to go in there, and hopefully it has a little bit more padding. I noticed that in order to really do this, I'm going to have to remove those metal plates completely. The service manual doesn't really say anything about that, so I'm going to just remove these screws. And I'm just going to put that off to the side with my other stuff. Okay, so we're taking off the pad. As you can see, I'm taking it off. See if we can get a good shot of that. You can see it's all torn up. That actually came from here. I'm kind of developed a trick here. You know, the first thing I started doing was trying to take it all off as a whole pad and just kind of working it off nicely. And at one point I thought, well, it's just going to be a lot easier to just deal with this bottom layer. You have to get, the trick is that you have to get all the glue, the part with the glue off of the surface. You want a nice clean surface. So what I did is I just tore this pad off, and what happens is it delaminates from that final grippy one that has the sticky on it. It delaminates it. So I just tore it off. Now what's left is this remnant, and the remnant, this is the difficult part, because you're going to have to really get in there and try to peel it away. And I'm kind of, if you can see, I'm kind of using my thumb and I'm rolling it. You might be able to see it kind of come off, see that? And you just kind of roll it along. It'll start coming off. If you have a hair dryer, that might help loosen the glue a little bit. But at the end of the day, this has taken me maybe about 10 minutes to get this far. I've come all the way across. And as you can see, it just kind of comes off. Just do a little bit at a time, work your way across it, and it'll all roll off together. The trick is to try to keep the layer of glue together and rolling together, kind of like making a rubber cement ball, if you've ever done that. Okay, so we've taken off the other pad, and as you see, you really want this thing to be clean. In fact, that little piece, I'm going to grab that little piece off. The surface needs to be free of any glue. So you want it to be, you want it to be clean from any glue or residue. In fact, I'm going to get that too. Okay, so then tape it up. And all you want to do is, like it's showing, I really don't care about making sure it stays up against the edge. Right now, all I want to do is locate it horizontally. So I just want to make sure that it stays horizontally correct. As you can see, it starts getting tighter and tighter, and you can fold it, you can put it up there if you feel more comfortable with it. Then at the very end, what you just want to fold a little bit of it back. So you're going to just fold a little bit away, do like a 45-degree angle. once this sticks, usually that's where it's going to be. So you kind of want to get this like set right the first time. And that's all I've done, see? And then what you're going to do is you peel back, just like this, and push it up. Just make sure the edge stays along the edge, peel back a little bit more, and work your way down. You know, of course, take this piece of tape off. And you're going to peel back some more, and just put it up there. It doesn't take much. You're just going to, just a little pressure. And just peel back a little bit more. That's why we scotch tape it up first. Then we don't have to deal with positioning it while we have our, you know, while it's all sticky and tapey, and that's, or sticky, because it's really hard to position if you're just take all the tape off first, or take all this backing off first and then try to put it up there. You will have a very hard time getting it right the first time. Okay, so we did the bottom, we did the upper one, which is the one with the red. We applied that. I flipped the whole assembly over, and now I pulled the lower stop off. And I gotta tell you, that was a much more difficult pull. The glue must be much stronger or sticky or something. It just took me a little bit of time to do. If you'll notice, if you can see that, there's a little lip right there. You may not be able to see it very well, but if you can, there it is. This lip, you're going to want to locate. That's why I have the tape going all the way underneath it into the back side, because you're going to want to locate the stop horizontally and then back and forth, because there's that lip in here. There, you can see it. And if you just did it, if you just did that little flip over like we did the other one, it may not, you may not want catch that lip, and you don't want to go over that lip. So you're going to want to tape that up and over and inside. And then we just peel back like we did last time. So let's see how this goes. So we just make sure that hits in. I gotta say, the way that they've kind of set this up, I have a feeling this is a one-time shot. So you gotta be really careful and make sure you get it on the first time. And I can see that I'm not being careful, so I'm gonna put my camera down and actually do it for real. Okay, so as you can see, it's considerably more dark than it was last time. It took us a little bit to get that lower stopper on, but now it looks good. So you simply put the shroud down, or the shell down, and you just tip the assembly in. As you can see, you can kind of, it just kind of sits in there. You want to make sure that the holes line up. If you'll notice, this is part of, it'll actually go underneath. And then we kind of reverse it.